Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tea Time. Today, we're going to talk about just fucking doing the thing. So, when I was watching, I played a lot of StarCraft, and I was following the scene, and I was watching the dailies, and I was watching State of the Game, and Noonie, Tyler, whichever you'd want to call him, was on there, and someone asked like, "Hey, I want to do X in esports, and do you think I should do it?" Was basically the question, and Noni was like, said this thing that sort of struck me in the proper way, which is a subset of just fucking do the thing, and that is, don't wait for anyone else's permission to do the thing that you think is great or awesome or that you just want to do. I'm about to record an audio podcast about StarCraft with someone who's never made an audio podcast in their life before. They just decided, I think this would be really cool, put tons of work into it, and hit me up and said, "Hey, do you want to do this podcast?" I said, "Hell yeah, that's awesome." Like, and just from my own personal experience, I did the same thing, despite the wise words of wisdom from Noni. Um, I did the same thing that a lot of people do, um, and I probably still do with other things too, which is sort of waiting around for permission or like waiting for someone to say it's okay, go do it. Because where that comes from, maybe the education system or parenting or wherever. Who knows where that comes from? It might be a human nature thing. But the point is that it's sort of there, and it's there in a lot of different people. And for me, I sold everything I owned, moved to California, and started doing StarCraft full time. It's crazy, right? But the catalyst for all of that, right? The reason why I actually did it wasn't because I decided, well, it was I decided eventually, but it wasn't because like I just decided I'm doing this today. There was a catalyst to that. I was in a long distance relationship with someone who lived in California, and we were Skyping one night, and her roommates said, "Hey, you should move in here with us and do your StarCraft thing." And I was like, "What? I can't just do that." And they were like, "Hell yeah, you can. Just do it." And I was like, "That sounds awesome. I think I will," But if had there been that conversation, had it never come up, I probably would have never done it. And at the time, actually for a long time, at least like a year later, I came to the realization, which is like, it sounds really dumb to say, but I came to the realization that I could have done that at home. At the time, I was living at home. I could have very easily done that at home. My expenses weren't very big. I could have sold all of my stuff while living at home, so that way I didn't have to have a job for a while and do StarCraft full time while at home. I could have absolutely done that and wouldn't have to have paid for moving expenses and stuff like that. It worked out because I really wanted to be with this person, and everything sort of came together and it was awesome. But like, it took me a year to realize that I could have done it otherwise, you know? And this is in response to a couple of things that sort of lined up at the same time. I was streaming last night, and Steeze, Steeze, with a capital Z. I was talking to him because I stream on Ding It, and it's people are still kind of getting used to the idea of like having a stream with a plugin in order to get higher quality. It's like there's a whole trust thing going on there, and a whole bunch of other things. But in any case, I have a small viewer base on Ding It, so we get really intimate. We get to like just have conversations because there's no chat delay. And this sounds like an advertisement for Ding It. It's not. I think Ding It's great and it's really enjoyable. But the point is, we were having a conversation, and he was like, we got into diet, and I told him what was in my sandwich. And he's like, "Hey, are you vegan?" And I was like, "Well, I hate labels, but if I fall into that category, I try to eat things that are good for me, and through the research that I've done, I'm not really interested in eating meat or dairy anymore. I just stopped being interested in doing that. So it's like, you know, It's not a sort of like, whoa, political statement or anything. It's just like, I'm not really into it, you know? And he's like, oh man, really, I wish I could do that. And I was like, well, you can, you know? You absolutely can. You can do it right now. It's like, and no one can stop you. You know? Unless you're starving, then you can probably do it. And even then, like vegetables and stuff are way cheaper. But we ended up just talking about like, you know, he said like, oh man, I'd really like to do something in esports. I'd really like to do something. I was like, well, what is it? You gotta have something. Just you have to have a starting place. What do you want to do? He's like, well, I always wanted to try casting. And I said, well, go get some free software and grab a free replay and use your shitty mic and cast a game and post it up on Reddit and say, hey, this is the first time I've ever casted. Tell me why I suck so I can get better. And then he did it. I don't know if he posted it on Reddit yet, but he went off and he's like, thanks, I did it. And so I decided to make this video just in case there's one more of you out there that's like on the edge of like, I don't really know. I've always had this thing that I want to do, but there's this thing that I can't really this intangible thing that's like sort of holding me back. And this idea, you may have even said it out loud. I think a lot of people say it out loud. Oh yeah, I couldn't do that. It's like, you could do it. Whatever that thing is, just fucking do the thing. Just fucking do the thing. Seriously. You know, maybe it'll crash and burn. Maybe it'll fail and then move on to the next thing, and that's fine, you know. I think that it's not really enjoyable to always be afraid of making mistakes, and maybe you can not be so afraid of making mistakes anymore. Probably going to take a longer time than that, but you know, maybe there's one of you out there who you've always been thinking of doing that thing. You've been waiting for someone to give you permission or to say that it's okay. I'm here. It's okay. You have whatever permission I can give you, whatever the hell that means, which is mostly nothing. But just go do the thing. Go fucking do the thing. And that's it. Yeah, that's all it is. This has been Tea Time with me. Let me know about the video quality. I'm messing with the lighting a bunch, so it should be a little bit clearer. And tell me what your thing is. The fucking do the thing. Whatever that thing is, tell me what that is. And if you really want to get into it, tell me why you can't do the thing. And maybe I'll try to convince you that you can. That'll be fun. Let's do that. And we can convince each other. Let's all get in on it together. Let's convince each other that we can do the thing that we've always wanted to do. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do today. All right. I'm going to go record a podcast. See you later.